Kia ora and welcome to this mid-April update for Once We're Gardeners. It's been a bit mild recently, so we had a few things happening in the garden. The tunnel house is still doing well, still got a few tomatoes, cucumbers are on their last leg, still got a few eggplants left and a few capsicums will last us a while. Today though I'm going to be planting, because one of the tomatoes died early, I'm going to be planting in its space a parsley and a chive to see if we can get any herbs over the winter months, because there are other parsleys and chives that have gone to seed. So we'll see what happens once we plant these and what happens with them over winter. I don't normally plant out the rest of the garden under the tomatoes now or anything like that, because a couple of months time I'm going to have to dig everything out and put new compost in, so it's not time to get a crop out of that area here. But these ones here I can leave in, and we'll see what happens, and if they go well I'll dig them up in spring and put them in the garden. And so I'll show you the usual story. Got some compost and I'll dig them into the garden, so that's next. I'll show you how we do that. I have my helper with me today, Mr. Prince Cashew, and His Royal Highness will help us in the garden as best he can. Right, I'll start off planting with these common chives. The usual story: stir up the soil and the compost. I've added a little blood and bone and a bit of seaweed, and then mix it in. Great, and then lovely chives. There we go. And parsley. Stir it up. Compost. You just want just deep enough that the soil is basically level with that there, or just of the potting mix, or just like that. There we go. And I'll give them water later and they should do fine during winter. We'll find out if they do fine or not. So I spotted some spinach while I was at the Portstone Garden Centre, so I thought I would chuck some into the garden where I've got a spot here. So I'll just quickly pop them in the compost. Don't want them too deep. Actually, I forgot to put some compost in that one, so I'll just spread it around. Spinach don't require too much in the way of compost, so just a little bit. And they should give us a nice return, more late winter. I suspect these are a winter variety of spinach, so it's alright. Once again, you don't want them too deep, just at the surface level. There we have a lovely worm, and they do a lot of the work in the garden as well. Feed the soil, feed the worms, and get good crops out of it. My assistant needs his reward. This is his pay. It's ball time. It's time to put in my final lettuce crop for the winter season. I got 3 types here at the moment. I got sort of loose leaf up there. They don't really handle the frost well, which is fine. And then I've got a cos variety, which is a winter variety here. And then I've got a cos and a loose leaf type here, and some coriander. And they're going to go into this cloche here. This cloche was built from the offcuts of the big tunnel house. We replaced the outside skin on it about a year ago, and so I decided to put them onto this cloche and make the winter lettuce growing area here, and they'll grow all through winter as they won't get any frost on them, and we'll have lettuce right through to early spring, all going well. Last winter was the first time I did this, and it was the first time I managed to have lettuce all the way through winter by staggering the crop like this. So, important not to have it land on my head while I'm planting or working in here. So something sturdy like that. And I don't need to add any compost with these ones here. The early video we did about a month or so ago showed us replacing the old strawberry bed, and putting a new compost and fertilizer on it, so anything extra should not be necessary at this time of year. It's always important when taking seedlings out to try and do as little damage as possible. That's always the great hope. It doesn't always work that way, but yeah, you don't know which one's going to come out, but as gentle as possible. In some ways they can be planted closer than normal, but that's because I won't harvest them as a whole plant. I'll just harvest the leaves off them as we need them. So these are the varieties where you just pick the leaves and you come back for more, let them grow on from there, and that way you should get months worth of lettuce out of them. Be nice to get some fresh coriander in the middle of winter. And always remember to, whenever you plant anything, any seedlings, to give them a good water in, and make sure that keep the water up for the next week or so. And don't use jet, use a shower instead. Hose setting. And it looks like I can fit some more coriander in there. I'll do that next weekend. The lid doesn't need to go down at this time of year. It'll only go down once the frosts really start to hit, and even then I'll still keep it open a little bit so it breathes